An Iranian vessel, allegedly used to transport weapons to Russia, has tragically sunk in the Caspian Sea, raising new concerns over covert arms supplies moving across international waters. The cargo ship Rona reportedly sent out a desperate distress call off the coast of Turkmenistan on January 14, signaling severe trouble before losing communication entirely. Records show that between October 2024 and December 2025, the vessel Rona made nearly 20 port calls at Astrakhan, Makhachkala, and Azov, suggesting a complex pattern of movement across Russian waters. Back in 2023, the Wall Street Journal reported that Rona frequently sailed through a known arms trafficking corridor, a detail later confirmed by maritime executive, adding weight to long-standing suspicions. According to Nexta, the Rona vessel often traveled between the Iranian ports of Amrabad and Anzali, routes believed to be strategically important for trade and covert military logistics. These two Iranian ports are alleged to serve as vital channels for weapons shipments and other sanctioned materials exchanged between Russia and Iran. Reports indicate that all 14 crew members aboard the Rona, including citizens from both Iran and India, were successfully rescued following the ship's distress signal and subsequent sinking. Meanwhile, a separate incident has unfolded as a Russian-flagged tanker captured earlier by the U.S. military was recently spotted near the coast of the United Kingdom, raising diplomatic tensions further. That vessel, interdicted on January 7, faces accusations of violating U.S. sanctions by transporting illicit cargo through restricted maritime zones. Named Bella 1, also known as Marinera, the tanker had reportedly been resisting seizure attempts by international authorities since December 21, according to CNN. The Russian government claimed that Marinera had received a temporary permit to sail under the Russian flag on December 24, a move seen as an attempt to legitimize its operations. However, American officials maintain that the tanker was part of a shadow fleet, a secretive network of ships operating to bypass U.S. sanctions and continue illegal oil trade. These so-called shadow fleets are known to transport oil covertly on behalf of sanction-hit nations such as Venezuela, Russia, and Iran, as reported by Al Jazeera. In another development, Iran has reportedly extended the closure of its airspace amid massive protests that have already seen more than 2,500 people killed in violent crackdowns. Both the United States and the United Kingdom have issued urgent travel advisories to their citizens in Iran, urging them to evacuate the country as unrest intensifies. The U.S. president stated that he had been reassured by Iranian officials that the killings of protesters had ceased and that further violence would be avoided. However, President Trump issued a stark warning, threatening direct intervention should the Iranian government resume its deadly crackdown on demonstrators. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, told Fox News earlier that no executions of protesters were taking place and dismissed foreign reports as exaggerated.
And there were terrorist cells. They came in. They used Daesh-style terrorist, operations. They got police officers, burned them alive, they beheaded them, and they started shooting at police officers and also to the people. So as a result, for 3 days, we had, in fact, fighting against terrorists and not, with the protesters. It was completely a different story. The reason I have to explain, and this is important, why they started to shoot at people, for one reason, they wanted to increase the number of deaths. Why? Because President Trump has said that if there are killings, he would intervene. And they wanted to drag him into this conflict. And that was exactly an Israeli plot. No, I haven't heard about that. And there is no any hanging today or tomorrow or whatever. That's
Friday?
I can tell you, I'm confident about that. There is no plan for hanging at all.
The protests themselves began in December, initially sparked by shopkeepers and students frustrated by the collapsing economy and worsening living conditions across the country. Over the past year, Iran's currency, the rial, has plunged to an all-time low, while inflation has skyrocketed to nearly 40%, deepening the nation's financial crisis.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.